welcome back to Next Up Haunted Adventures. Better than what I could do. So today we're going to elaborate on...
Wait. Who are you?
I'm Shelby.
Oh, you're Shelby? Oh, hi. Well, I'm Tony.
I assume at this point in the show they know who we are, but maybe it's better to keep introductions.
Right.
Keep going them. Keep them short and sweet. So today we're going to elaborate on what Tony expects to experience in the haunt. Or actually, let's say things you want. What do you want to experience in a haunt?
I think like I mentioned in the last episode that I kind of wanted to understand this almost Christmas-like love of Halloween for a lot of people. Like when growing up, it's this free candy holiday. That's what it is. It's like Easter. You just for a lot of kids, you throw in the candy, you throw in the Easter egg hunt so that they get interested in Jesus being reborn. But in like Halloween, it's you run out there to go to your neighbors and they throw candy at you for some reason while you say trick or treat. So as an adult looking at it, it's like, well, that's all it is. But now looking at all my other friends, they're like, oh, Halloween's great. I get to do all this other cool stuff. And I'm like, well, I don't feel that way. So I want to understand that more than anything else. But as far as like the actual haunt goes, like certain spooky, scary things, is that what you're asking? Okay. I don't know. Hillbillies with chainsaws without the chain on them because that would be terrifying. Not a lot of gore, but some blood splatters, some streaks, some spooky, scary music.
Some clowns.
No clowns. No, clowns will be fine. What I want for my first haunt is just to enjoy it with everybody else, like succinctly. But like for certain coming attractions of it, I would just be like, I hope there's not a lot of jump scares, but there's gonna be a lot of jump scares. But yeah, that's kind of my whole view of it. Is I want to see the pop culture-y mix. I want to see the nostalgia mix. Yeah. And I just want to see hillbillies without chains on chainsaws.
Now, one of the things that I've always kind of not liked about a haunted house when they do the hillbilly theme is they always have like the super gross toilet and it usually squirts water at you, so usually you'll see me stop. If you see me stop and you see something kind of nasty making noise, you know what it is, and I'm probably gonna wait for it to go off for some poor soul to go ahead of me, and then I'm gonna run to get on the other side because I don't like being hit by that.
Is it like always like an outhouse that does this, or is it just
it can be look like a regular toilet just with nasty like fake poop in it, or it can look like an outhouse sometimes.
Ew.
It varies between haunted attractions. Screamakers did it, and they also had a button at the end that said "Do not press," and I did, and it squirted you right in the crotch region. And when it's like
deserved it then.
When it's like 30 degrees out, you don't want that. Or maybe it said press here. When it's like 30
then
degrees,
you didn't deserve that.
Like, you don't want to look like you just peed yourself coming out of the haunted house. Just a way for them to say, oh, look, we had another person wet themselves. Like, no, I didn't. You sprayed water.
You fools.
You sprayed water on me.
That's what they wanted you to do. If it said do not press, that's your fault. But if
it's my fault.
But if it said press here, it's like, well, that's their fault. That's unfair.
So, what are you going to be looking for? I know you know how I judge haunted houses. Right. What are you going to be looking for? Are you going to be looking for the same things I do, or are you just going to just let it all happen?
I don't think I'm going to be looking for the same things that you are. I think what I'm going to be looking for more so is you look at the actors' performances and all that stuff. I'm going to be looking at that as well, but I'm going to be looking at it from a perspective of how awesome do they get me? Like how much do they get me to scream instead of like they played their character really well. It's going to be like, oh, they got into my face and made me scream and made me have some sort of a panic real quick and then helped me through. I'm looking for hospitality more than I am for the creepy guy that really likes to get into his character and chasing people off. But what else I'm going to be looking for is kind of a realism, much like yourself, because I have this really overactive imagination. So when I go into something like that, I'm going to be imagining that most of what's happening around me is real.
Yeah.
So realism is gonna help as well. So, but if it's just like a bunch of garbage bags up, or if it's just like a bunch of fake plywood stuff hanging around, that's not gonna do it for me. That's gonna be like, oh, okay, I can joke around with this and joke around with the actors.
Well, you're already gonna be a step ahead of one of our other friends who nearly knocked down a wall. At a haunted house because he jumped into me. He actually went airborne and hit me and nearly knocked down the wall.
I'm too big to do that. I'm not because if I jump, I'm taking you down.
Yeah, you are.
That's just
well,
he
did. He knocked me down and landed on me, but we nearly destroyed part of their haunted house.
Oh, jeez.
And he hasn't been to one since.
Oh God.
So there's that, but it will be interesting because once you go to your first haunt, when we do a review of a haunted house, you will no longer be essentially the new person who's never. I'll be discussing a haunted house, but like you'll know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Then it'll just be from a different perspective because you'll be newer at this, and also everyone has their own opinions of how a haunted house should look and feel.
Yeah, it's subjective.
Yeah, and that's where having two people is an amazing thing to have.
Yeah, that would be awesome to have instead of just this one voice saying it, kind of bouncing the ideas off of it, and just kind of instead of having this this super pseudo number of things, we have all these opinions on it instead of just like, oh, this thing happened and it was cool, but everything else got bogged down because of the atmosphere around. Because you'll have that. There's no way to escape it. There's always going to be something that goes wrong. There's always going to be something that doesn't sync for everybody.
Yeah.
So it's cool to have those like more opinions on it. And again, that's what I'm like kind of excited for, is to see this change in me to where I actually get excited about Halloween and haunted attractions and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes. And looking back at the first episode of this, and then when we're done, seeing how it actually happens. And then you can answer the question, is Shelby too hard on the haunted houses when I judge them?
I think what you try to do is try to make it appealing for everybody. You do hit on like the hardcore type people where it's, this is the problem with this one, this is the problem with this one. But I think what you do ultimately is just try to inform somebody, you should be spending your time over here, or you should be spending your time over here, you should be spending it with your kids over here, that type of stuff, instead of just being like, well, this one stunk, don't go here, go to this one's better. Like you're looking out for the consumer. You're looking out for what can take your buck the farthest.
And this is true. Now, with that in mind, what do you think is the average cost of a haunted house?
Average cost.
Keep in mind, these aren't cheap to make and run.
Right. Are we talking just like the one attraction?
In general.
Okay, in general.
In general, for one attraction.
$12.
You know what? That's an okay. You're definitely a lower estimate. They're around 20.
Wow, what?
It's around 20 a person for a haunted house.
Okay.
Keep in mind, these are expensive. I've paid up to $40 for just myself to go into a haunted house.
Okay.
Sometimes they are more than that.
I was gonna say 15, but I did want to Price is Right it and get like too high. But looking at it, like saying that it's $20, it actually doesn't seem too out of the norm for it, because like you said, it costs a lot to run.
It's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, and sometimes some of these haunted houses will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get up and running and to continue running, sometimes more than that. Going to the Haunted Hoochie, walking into a room, I'm like, wow, this is $100,000.
Well, there's also you gotta think that they're paying for electricity, they're paying for atmosphere, they're paying for if they have like some sort of a space, a rental of that.
Yep.
If they're paying the actors, or if the actors are volunteers, they have to do that kind of stuff. So again, $20 actually sounds probably like a good cost effect, for it. So
now, drawing on the lines of that, we're actually going to wrap this episode up. But to keep in mind for our next episode, we're going to elaborate on how much people are willing to spend on a certain haunted houses, and go into the dark depths of the ones that go beyond touching. We're talking about the extreme haunted houses that some people don't like to call haunted houses because they're on that border. And we're going to talk about what is our opinion on being touched in a haunted attraction.
No like.
And from there, folks, We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye.